You already read the title. You know what we're here to talk about, how low your standards are as a man or a woman. I don't want you to think that this video is just for women. Now, I am going to specifically talk about more women today because that's what I can relate to. As you can see, I'm a woman, but this can be applied to men as well. And I think I might do an actual separate video as a woman, seeing how low men's standards could be, because it's not just one-sided, okay? I think this is more of just from personal experience, and also me being an observer or observant person, just me seeing what other people have went through or what other people have experienced and what people can experience and they don't even know. I think when it comes to your standards, it's more than just dating wise. You have standards in every aspect of your life. Like every part of your life, there's some type of standard. Period. Your standards are lower than they should be. No, I'm not perfect. I'm telling you this because that's how I feel. I know my standards in a lot of different categories in my life could be higher. Okay? So yes, I will talk about like dating and stuff because I do have a lot to say about that, especially being someone who is, you know, in my young adult ages and I'm experimenting with dating and getting into that field. I would say there's a lot of things that I've seen recently that I just have to say something about, or I've seen over the years with, like, you know, people in my life, dating, friends, dating, like, yeah. And I'm gonna say this video is probably more targeted towards people in their, you know, early 20s, just young adults, but I feel like this can be applied to you any age and any aspect of your life. This video isn't about me doing hair, but I am gonna do my hair. I'm trying to do multiple things at once to make sure I get a video out because I'm standing on business in 2025. Let's get into this video because I don't know, like, I've been praying before I make a video, like, God, what do you want me to talk about? Or please put some ideas in my head, because I'm somebody who's always thinking about multiple things, and when I actually have like a set, like, I can do it. And that's what happened to me. I instantly thought your standards are in hell. That's literally what I thought. And I was like, yes, that is my video today, because your standards are literally in hell. Not everybody, but a lot of people's standards are like low. And I feel like what really like got this idea in my head is I was on this live with one of my associates. They were going through a breakup or whatever. And I was hearing like both sides. Cause I'm not gonna lie, it was messy, okay? And I was being nosy. And I realized, oh my gosh, this girl's standards for this person that I actually know I'm cool with are low. So freaking low. And I was looking at the people in the comments, like trying to back him up and all this stuff. And the pick me girls. Yes, I never thought I'd be someone who's like, oh, she's a pick me, she's a pick me. No, the girls like hyping him up and all this stuff were pygmies. And I actually know this person. And, you know, I was surprised. I was surprised. And I'm like, are these girls, their standards are in hell. Hell, if it can go lower than hell, that is where their standards are. And I'm like, you probably gonna see this and be like, I'm not saying my business. But like, I'm sorry. I thought about this and I was like, oh my gosh, my standards are high. And that is probably why I'm single. Well, no, it's not probably. It is why I'm single. If I wanted to be in a relationship, I definitely could. But I don't know. I don't see the point of sticking around in something you know isn't going to work. And I think because, especially in my generation, we kind of look at relationships as very casual. We look at having sex, period, as really casual. And I find it weird, like, I know there's a lot of people in the world who think the same way that I do, but there's a lot of people now who, you know, they think it's not that serious, not that deep. And I think maybe because, yeah, I am Christian, and there are a lot of Christians who still think it's not that deep. But personally, I think it's that deep. And because of that, I feel like that is why dating now and all this, it's like not the same. And I don't care what nobody says when they talk about, oh, dating in the past or like, you know, the olden days or whatever is way better than now. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even like answering that question, because when you think about the past, I do think more people were like truly in love. They were set on finding their one person. if that makes sense. There were still hoes back then. Okay, the hoes didn't just pop up out there were still hoes, but I feel like because people were like more set on finding love, or no, not even just that. They were set on finding love and building a family. And when I say building a family, making sure the family has money. So they were marrying up on purpose. They was getting arranged marriages on purpose to benefit the family. So was it even love? I don't even know. But I feel like because nowadays, I don't even know where I'm getting with this. I feel like nowadays, yes, everyone wants to find love, but nobody knows how to go about it, let alone show love, because by their parents or how they grew up, love wasn't even shown correctly. So, and no one can say what's the correct way to find love, but a lot of people get with people or are in relationships with people based on their trauma bonds. Not even from love, from their trauma. Which means that their love that they have is not even real love. It's just a comfortable state for them because that's the trauma they grew up in and they're used to that. And so I just feel like I can't even answer the question if love back then is like better than now. I think it depends. Of course, people be like, no, women were getting beat by their husbands. Yes, women were getting beat by their husbands. Women are getting beat by their husbands and boyfriends now. I really don't like when people compare things like that because it's still happening. And if anything, it's probably worse because those people were married. These people were just dating these people. But I don't like comparing like, oh, dating back then was better than, because it's really low-key the same. It's just more normalized, even romanticized to have a toxic relationship, which is not cute. And sometimes it's not even done on purpose. But anyway, y'all, I was on the live. He was talking about how she cheated and all this stuff. And I'm like, dang, like, that's crazy. Like, you don't want to see nobody going through that. So it seemed like the problem was she was cheating and he found out and he was leaving. That is what was going on. If you're a viewer first time seeing, like me, I didn't even know about it. So I was like, dang, like, what? And so they're going off on each other. They're talking and the girl's talking. Okay, first of all, they both sound really dumb. Like, both parties don't sound smart. The girl at this point, she's talking and she had went on a date with a guy. Okay? If you're dating someone, yes, that's cheating. But they were not dating. Come to find out, he never asked her out. He wasn't claiming her to the friends. On social media, he was just saying, oh, that's my best friend, whatever. But even in person, wasn't claiming. Like, around friends, wasn't claiming. I'm not dating. It's giving what? Friends with benefits. And he's like, oh no, we knew what was going on. To me, I feel like as a girl, how do I say this? Because I'm not trying to be mean, but I want to understand what y'all's thought process is. So if this is the position that you're in, please let me know. Because I'm truly curious. Because I just could never. You're with a guy, and I'm saying, like, you guys are talking, and for some reason, you guys, are getting to know each other. And in that getting to know each other, you guys are in this bed almost every night doing couple things, but you're not dating. You're just getting to know one another. AKA, people like to call it talking. You guys don't have a title, If you want, you can date other people because you're just getting to know this person. You don't even really know each other's favorite color. Or maybe you do. Maybe you know each other's favorite color, everything, just having met the fam or whatever. Just, you guys not putting a title on it. That's just my friend. That's just my friend. That's all you said. That's my friend. Yeah, she communicated this with him. She was like, hey, I don't feel like you're feeling me how I'm feeling you. I think that I go my own way. They don't respond. And so it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. And she goes on a date. You guys rekindle, want to try again. But really, what are you trying again? You just bucking again. Let's be real. And you find out about that, you get upset and say she's cheating. People who was coming up were saying like, oh, I get how that's cheating because if I'm talking to anybody, like, I don't care if we're not in a relationship, but if I'm talking to you, like, I'm not about to be talking to nobody else, sleeping with nobody else. Now, let me remind you, the girl who said this, that was a pick-me. She came on anytime somebody came on and was like, no, I don't think that's cheating. It might have been like, she could have communicated, whatever. He wasn't trying to hear it. But when somebody would come on and be like, yeah, that's cheating, that's when he wanted to hear it. First red flag is that he can't take accountability. Like, look, I'm the type of friend who I'm gonna tell you when you're wrong. Like, literally, I'm going to tell you when you're wrong because what are you doing? So he couldn't even take accountability. Red flag. Red flag. Anyway, the pick-me girl was like, yeah, I would like never, when I was talking to my baby daddy, like I wasn't messing with nobody else. Like when we first met, like I wasn't messing with nobody else. Oh, and she's not with her baby daddy. He has multiple other children. Just by her situation, it gives that's the type of behavior she's going to attract. I was literally looking at this and I'm like, what? Then a guy got on there and was like, yeah, I feel you. Like she was definitely cheating. Like on a talking stage for 1 year. You're in the talking stage for what more is there to talk about? That irritates me. I feel like if you don't have to rush into dating, but I think people have it mixed up on what dating is. Dating isn't, oh my God. Like, sorry God. Dating, I feel like, is when you and one person, say me and you, we make a commitment with each other that, hey, we're thriving to get married. And you're working, getting to know each other, learn each other for marriage. That's what dating is to me, okay? But that courting, okay? That becomes before dating. It is when, and you can court multiple people. This is when you're talking. People call this talking, okay? They call this talking, but it's courting. Courting is when you're getting to know someone, seeing if you want to be with that person. Now this, ladies, is what I mean by low standards. In these courting stages, y'all, they should get you flowers. They should take you on dates. They should compliment you. They should do all these great things. They should. If they're not doing that in the courting stage or talking stage, why would you want to be with someone who shows no effort? Okay, let's move forward. Courting stages. In these courting stages, you should not, one more time, you should not be anybody unless you just want to hit it and quit it. If you don't plan to hit it and quit it, what are you doing? And then you're surprised that they never ask you out because they done got a free trial with all of the benefits. They're moving on. I don't know how hard that is to like understand, but I know sometimes it comes from people who have low self-esteem and not even realize that you could be the baddest girl on this earth. You can still have low self-esteem. And it is shown by the way you carry yourself, the way you treat yourself, the respect you have for yourself and others. So with that being said, what they were really doing was courting each other, but she was giving him the ultimate girlfriend pact. Shoot, wife pack for real. And he was just calling her friends. Because he kept mentioning, oh, how would I know I want to date someone just after a couple months? Like, this is why girls get in relationships and they don't know what they want because they're trying to go too fast. First off, when he had said that, I was like, okay, so he's young. I mean, he's the same age as me, but like the thought process was giving mad, young and dumb. Because real man or someone who really likes you, they're going to make it known that they want you, that they love you, that they like you. It's not going to be a secret. It's not going to be nothing they're trying to hide and withhold. Now, there's a difference between private and a secret. You can keep things private, which is what he was saying he was trying to do. But no, you wasn't keeping things private. You were keeping them a secret because you didn't want that for real. So yeah, so if people want you, they will know from the bat. Trust me, you will know. It will be no secret. That's why they will court you. That's why they will do all these things. But if your standards are so low and you have no standards, they're not going to respect you. I wouldn't respect you if you had no standards. You can do whatever you want to someone with no consequences and you're going to get whatever you want out of it. You're going to keep doing it. If you go to school and your teacher gives you homework every night and she says, you don't have to do it. It does nothing towards your grade, but it's your homework. Are you going to do it? No. You're not going to do it. It's literally just a piece of paper. That means nothing that you're going to crumble up and throw in the trash. I hope that was a good example. Makes sense to me. And that's the same thing when it comes to dating. And then there's always signs, y'all. Like, no one is perfect. And everybody's going to go through their hoish stage. I mean, everyone's hoish stage is a little different. I think of a hoe as somebody who's always sleeping with somebody. That's what I think of a hoe. Okay? Somebody always talking to somebody. I mean, if that makes you a hoe, then shoot, I'm a hoe. I would talk to a whole bunch of new people, and then as soon as I'm like, oh, I move on. Like, as soon as something's just not working, I move on. And you know why that's easy for me to do? because I'm not sleeping with these people. I have no emotional connection to these people where it's hard for me to not talk to these people because what? All I was doing was courting them. All they were doing were courting me. We were actually getting to know each other and figure out we don't like each other. Could you be friends with this person? You don't even know that. You're literally setting yourself up for failure. That's what I think, okay? This is all opinion based. You know, you don't have to take nothing that I'm saying. And you can keep on doing what you're doing. You can lower your standards even further than hell. And, you know, you can still find the person just for you because they're in the same place as you. But on all reality sense, you're just hurting yourself. And you're going to keep getting hurt. Okay? Go back to the story. He was just saying he was trying to just keep it private. That's why he didn't want to tell like nobody at all, but they knew what was going on. They knew that they was freaking. And yeah, he was talking to other girls, but why would she go on another date? Now the girl was like, and they went on one date. She said it was very innocent. It doesn't matter what she did on that date, okay? She was single. Just like who knows what he was doing. He was going back and forth with her and everything. And he was definitely like in front of my face. I could see her being manipulated. Like, I feel like as a woman, like, I was even going through this for my own relationship where there was certain times that I think about now that, oh, that was low-key manipulation and I didn't know. Because when he was, like, saying things to her and all this stuff, it was making her change her mind about, no, girl, say what you was saying because that was correct. Guys, after all of this arguing on stuff, you want to know what he was saying, y'all? This is why, girls, you never lower your standards or go after things you don't want. They'll talk a whole bunch of the game, but as soon as he got mad, he was saying oh, she's a hoe, she does this, she's not even my type. I would never even go for somebody like that. I'm talking about calling her out of her name, coming for her character, everything. And I don't know this girl, but the fact that he was coming on here at first being all like a victim and all she cheated, she did this, to find out she really didn't cheat. She just was doing the same thing, really playing the role of friends with benefits, thinking that somehow that was gonna bring them back together. That's where I don't get that. Then go to calling her name and all this stuff, how she's a hoe, he wouldn't even mess with her anyway, like she gave it up on the first night. Yes, he said that. And so he never thought to take her serious. Where did this change come from? That's why I always say, girls, how a man treats you when he's mad and upset is just who he is, period. It's what he thinks of you, period. There's no such thing as, oh, I was mad and, you know, I was just talking. No, when people are upset and angry and in that emotion, how would those things even come into your head if you don't think them? Let's be real. Guys do that. Girls, guys do that. My ex, literally, when we were like being arguments or whatever, anything, he's mad, he never yelled at me. That's why I would never be with a man who yells at me, because why are you yelling? He never raised his voice at me, never called me out my name, never did any of those things. And this situationship or whatever, he was doing all of that. And I was like, she would want to date someone like that? And that's what I mean by y'all standards are low. Because they don't even know how to treat you before they even really make you their girlfriend. Like, that's weird. A lot of girls go through that. Especially being on, TikTok and stuff and people, sharing what they go through. And I realized, like, that is a very common thing for people to go through. And I just don't understand it. Like, when I go on dates, when I, approach people, all these things, I don't get that. And the reason I don't get that, I truly believe it's because of my standards. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. There's been predicaments I've been in where I was like, oh, heck no. And I was like, this is the stuff that people be talking about, that people do. But the difference between me and them? I leave immediately. It really comes from fear. People are scared to be rejected. Girls too. Girls be scared to be rejected. That's why they always go for the comfortable situation. We already know who will stick around, who will stay, but the standards aren't there. But we just know what they'll do. We know what to expect. We know what we can control. That's a horrible thing to do, honestly. It's horrible. Because we'll never be satisfied and we'll always be upset about it. When you have low standards or you're lowering your standards for a specific person or because you feel like it's not attainable to you, it all is a trauma response. There's so many things that can make it a trauma response, but I think that's where it comes from. And everyone's trauma is different. Trauma doesn't mean you were abused or this. It can be so many things that happen in your life that made you and your brain have trauma responses to something. No, and if you don't know, counseling's good. But all I know is for the ladies, we need to fix that quick. And I'm gonna be 100% realistic with you. I do not believe that everyone is meant to be rich, have a billionaire husband, all this stuff, okay? So when you watch gurus that only talk about, need to make sure he has this, I feel like why sometimes those people aren't married or don't have, a significant other that they truly love is because you can have standards and everything. Everyone's realistic is different, okay? But just don't build someone who's literally, it's like impossible. Like it's literally impossible. Make sure it makes sense, okay? And also look at what you want as a person, okay? So don't take what social media says and then try to apply that. I think that's like a big thing. Like you see these girls, you need to make sure on the first date he's getting you a Birkin bag. On your first date, you need to make sure he's taking you here, here, here. If you're somebody who don't even really care for Birkin bags and purses like that, why are you making that a requirement? That's not even what you want. Like personally, my first date, they have to plan it. That's a standard. Have a reason but why you have your standards, because then it's gonna make you have like a reason why you have it and why you need that in your significant other. I think that's really important. Like my first date, they have to plan it because I want my husband to be able to plan things. I'm special, so why would he not want to plan things for me? I don't understand why guys will ask a girl on a date, hey, I want to go on a date with you, I think you're really cool, and then be like, so where do you want to go? I want you to pick the place, time, and all that. Like, no, I don't want that. A lot of girls want that. They like picking stuff that it's totally cool, but it's up to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's what you like as a person. But a beauty girl could tell you, no, like, make sure you pick everything. It's your world. And you don't even want that. Like, you just need to figure out what you want. It's so easy, like I said, to fall into the trap of social media, seeing what other people have and how it looks good. But guys, remember, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Most of the time, it's not greener on the other side. Let's be very mindful about what we want and what we say we want, because our words, y'all, are so powerful. You guys might find this controversial, whatever. This is what I think. I personally, there's always like rare finds, but if you don't have your life together, and there's different ways to have your life together. I don't mean your business is all together, all this. No. But like, if you're not comfortable with yourself and like good where you're at, girls, you need to have your own money. You don't need a whole bunch of money, but you can't be broke out here in these streets. Okay. There's too much things you could be doing. Okay. If you don't have a little bit of something going for yourself, you can't expect a man who has his whole life together, something going for himself, rich, that, and you don't even have it. I'm not saying you need to have all your life together, but you have to have something going for you, or you guys are not even going to be in the same predicament at the same time. You're going to attract bums, like actual bums. And these bums can have houses, they can have cars, but they're still bums at the end of the day. The way they act, the way they treat you, it's just very bummish. And you don't want that. But that's what you attract if you're saying stuff and not acting on it yourself. I feel like the best times people find like the love of their life is when they're not even looking. Like, how does that work? And I think it's like you're okay if the love of your life comes into your life, but you're not actively looking for them. You know what I mean? Like, if it happens, it happens, but that's not the top of your concern. I think that's when you really start to come around people that, that really are made for you, I would say. You do so much to try to convince yourself that your standards are too high. You know what you want. You know what's out there. You know you can have it. But because this person has this and this, it's okay if they don't, say nice things to me. It's okay if they don't get me flowers, even though they know I love flowers. All you're doing is making excuses, and I'm going to tell you right now, that relationship is not going to flourish. People aren't going to know everything you want immediately. And that's another thing that's a downfall with relationships, or like when dating or people's standards. You have these high expectations for people you don't even know. If that makes sense. Like, you don't even know this person. You just met them. You just been talking to them. You just been texting them. And you think they know everything about you. No, they don't. Okay? So you have to actually have room and time to grow. But that doesn't mean you're wasting so much time on this person. That's why it's called courting different people. Okay? I'm not going to get into that. But That's like a thing. I think some people throw their standards and all that stuff on people too quick. Too quick, because the guy can come and give you all the flowers, all this on the first date, swoon you, take you shopping, all that, and he's trash. He's literally trash. He cheated on you already. That's the first day he asked you to be his girlfriend. Like, you have to know a person, okay? I feel like when it comes to your standards, it's a mindset thing. You can be raised a certain way and your standards still don't match. You could have grown up seeing these horrible standards and still change. It's a mindset. And when you're so fixated on one specific thing, like, oh, he has to have a whole bunch of money. If that's your only standard, even if you say that's not your only standard, but all of it revolves around him having a whole bunch of money, your standards are in hell. And you're gonna attract horrible people. Yes, they may have money. Yes, they may, live a lifestyle that look all glamorous and everything. But the person that you're getting is trash, is booty. You're not even getting a good human being. Words are so powerful. You got to be careful what you're putting out in this universe. Because you want to date a generous man. A generous man, if your generous man doesn't have all the money in the world, it's the fact that he still makes things happen. That's a quality trait. That is a standard. That is a standard you could have, that my man just makes sure I'm always good. That doesn't mean he just bought you a new car. It just means that that's just him as a person. I know, me personally, I'm going to live a great life with or without a man, but I will have a man. But myself, I'm going to have my own money. I'm going to live out the lifestyle that I want because I am going to make sure I have the funds for it. I feel like if you're only being with someone for a type of lifestyle, that's cool and all, but there's other standards you gotta have, like the way that they treat you and all that stuff. You wanna know one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to like men? I dislike I'm on what you're on type of guy. I don't know what about it I really dislike. Ooh, ow. I just don't like guys like that because personally, the type of guys I go for, they set the mood. Like, I think of that as being a leader, when you set the mood. Now, there's different aspects of when, like, okay, I get, like, you don't want to do too much. But, like, all the guys that I ever been attracted to are, like, they set the mood. They're like, oh, we doing this, we doing that. And then I have the option to be like, yeah, no, or yeah. I don't know. I just look at it as that's an example of leading. That's just a sign of a leader. They set the tone, and I just get to choose if I want to do it or not. Like, what? Because at the end of the day, my say is always my say. I just let guys know what they want to do. Because I know what I want to do. And ain't nobody got time for that confusion. And usually when people like you, they don't give you confusion. So if you're confused about your relationship with a man, it's fake. He doesn't like you. Yeah, you should communicate that you're confused and he needs to give you something, but you should never beg a man for a relationship. You should never beg a man to ask you out. You should never have a man make you think that you're doing the most because you just want to know what you guys are because you're doing everything like a girlfriend, but he's still not claiming you. If that's your reality, your standards are in hell. And it makes me so mad because if I ever see my sister going through that, I think I might actually slap her. Like, I actually might knock her upside her head. Because what are you doing? My friends too. Like, what are you doing? Me as a friend treats you better than your freaking boyfriend. That's not your man. That's not your man. I'm your man at this point. I think it's so important for women to really stop giving that cookie up. Stop giving that cookie up. Especially when they don't deserve it. He said something nice to you. Oh, so sweet. Why would he not say something nice to you? Oh my gosh, he called me pretty. Let me give you these cookies. Why would he not call you pretty? Girl, you're gorgeous. He said the wrong one, actually. It's like a mindset. Like, it's what you think of yourself. When your standards are so low, you truly believe, I'm not worthy to be with somebody who treats me nice. I'm not worthy to be with someone who respects me. I'm not worthy. That is what you're thinking. When you lower your standards so low and allow a person, man or woman, friend or family, coworker, boss, when you allow them to disrespect you, or say things to you or do things that's mean to you or hurts you, it's a mindset. That's what you think of yourself. That's why you allow it. That's why you don't move forward. That's why you don't move on. I have stopped talking to you guys because I would not get my hair done because I cannot multitask. So like us girls, we really settle in for stuff we really don't mess with. Guys too. Up to you. Stop trying to, and no one's perfect. We know that. And you know what's a deal breaker for you and what's not. But you just go against your boundaries. And all it does is make that person not respect you. And the one thing you need in a relationship for it to work and survive is respect. At the very beginning, you don't even have that. Respect is something you definitely earn. When it comes to things that you really don't like or don't mess with, you need to nip it in the bud like immediately, or it's just not gonna work. To accept things and then one day you just want to explode because you never liked it, they're not gonna understand. They're gonna be like, I've been doing this for so long and you're just now saying something. You can ruin something so good just because you didn't speak up. People are only gonna do what you allow, because if you don't allow it, they won't do it again because they won't be around. Clock that tea. Everything I was talking about was actually important. You do need to raise your standards. You do need to get it together, because you keep playing, you're going to end up like Sky Jackson and many other women in this world. And everyone learns from their mistakes, but you don't want to do the same mistakes that people are learning from, okay? It's not normal. It's not natural. It's not just a thing everyone does. It's not, okay? And that's not the life you want. Even how glamorized it is and all this, you don't want that, okay? You don't want to be with a yerky yerk. You don't want to be with a YN. You don't want to be with none of these people, or people who just don't really care about you and they're just settling for you until they find the right person for them. You don't want to be a placeholder, because that's really what it is, okay? Who cares if you feel like you're going to hurt someone's feelings? You're hurting their feelings by leading people on your own feelings. Let's put your feelings first. For once in your entire life, let's do what's best for you, okay? I feel like in 2025, that's what we need to work on, is ourselves. And when we say that, we're not just saying, oh, going for a walk, eating healthier. No, like literally your mental health, what your worth. Become your own best friend. That's what I'm working towards. Becoming my own best friend, really spending time with myself, and being the main character in my life. Because you know one thing a lot of people do? They're not even their main character in their life. The person they with is the main character in their life. Like, let's get it together. It's embarrassing, honestly. And I'm tired of being embarrassed for you, friend. Like, I'm literally so sick of it, and I can't take it anymore, so stop. But I love you guys so much. This video was probably a little bit harsh. I'm sorry. It's just nothing. You need to hear it. If you're watching this and you made it to the end, you needed to hear it, okay? I love you. God loves you. And